All right, welcome back to another episode of ThinkAMill. Man, it's been the racism is high this week. I mean, holy! When I go on the internet, I'm seeing a lot of crazy shit. But we not gonna start there. Jermon, how you been, bro? What's going on? What's new?
I've been great, man. Christmas just passed. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrated.
Right, right,
Happy
right.
New Year's as well.
Are you are you
Holiday time, man. It's a
are
good
you a,
time for me.
are you a heavy gift giver or
Nah, not really. I don't. I just like being around my people.
I say
I
the
don't
same
really
thing.
care about the gifts.
Because I did a video. They was averaging that Americans are gonna spend around 920 billion this year on Christmas, and I was like, if I don't participate, I don't think no one's gonna really be affected by this because there's already enough people spending major amounts of money. You know,
That's the crazy part.
do you, do,
Like everybody says, we're in this financial crisis, and Americans are so poor, and it's times are tough, but we still find a way to spend all this damn money all the time.
all the time, and that's why I be genuinely confused. Oh, we get some. Hold on, what's going on with this camera? Hold on, yours is like getting some frequencies there. Can't even see you. Hold on, let
I'm
me.
in DC. Maybe they jamming me.
Yeah, if I could literally give a description of what a jam looks like, this is literally what it looks like. Like your screen is like looking like somebody hit you with a counter UAV or some shit. Hold on. Okay, now it's
Yep,
back. Now it's back.
they came to get me.
I'm gonna try to cut that part out later.
Well, see, we start talking about what they was doing, and then that's bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, with Christmas, like you ever feel that holiday guilt? You know,
It's a thing in America.
it is, and I used to feel that. I still struggle with it. Like, oh man, if you don't get enough stuff, but it's like my thing is like
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to where I got to be financially, and it's like these holidays, and then you get hit with the next one. Then it's New Year's, and my birthday's in February. It's like it's a never ending fucking cycle. And then Mother's Day, whatever.
Valentine's Day.
I forgot about Valentine's Day, and that's like I feel like all the holidays like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, they're like high pressure holidays because women want so much shit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really be caring too
Mm-hmm.
much. But that's a whole other conversation because I was gonna get into this thing like if you're with somebody who pressures you into because I saw this good post and I made this thing like if someone pressures you into spending money you don't have, is that a person you should really spend your life with? Because it's like if you would make
Nope.
me watch me exactly if you would watch me go further into debt to satisfy you for a holiday, I think that's pretty selfish and extreme. You know what I'm saying? What does that really say about
It's
that
very
person?
selfish. Very selfish. You don't care about this person that you say you care about.
Especially if it's like, yo, I'm you gotta it has to look a certain type of way. People say it's a thought that counts until you buy them something that they absolutely need, and then they're like, oh yeah, this is not what I expected. But I guess it's not the thought that really counts then, right? But yeah, that's why I think Christmas, man, it's a very funny
Exactly.
holiday, bro. I mean, where we live at in this world is pretty crazy. But yeah, bro. I mean, shit. So
A lot of people don't use common sense.
no, that's what I just been reflecting, man. Just been thinking like because where I'm trying to go, and I learned that when you try to go into different aspects and paths of life, bro, certain thought processes is not going to be. It's because when I thought about it, right? Because Christmas
Mm.
became a well renowned holiday once they started putting it in movies and they started glorifying it in
Yep.
television, and then that's when it became like everything is better. But before it was never like this until mainstream got their hands on it and turned it into a business. So I be feeling like I don't want to get finessed out of somebody else's business because they tricked me into believing that this is a priority. When movies like Home Alone started coming out and then they made Christmas seem like this thing that it never really was until it became a staple on television.
People used to get gifts, but it wasn't no. You're forced to receive a certain amount, and it was still care. It was the care that was behind the gift that mattered.
Right. And then because
People understood finances, and they didn't feel like you needed to buy things that you couldn't afford to make someone else happy. They understood, I'm going to get you what I could get you, and let's be happy about it.
exactly, I think consumerism has really really put America in a chokehold. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. This is why I think we were talking about before. Why a lot of people just you was talking about it and you was like, "Yo, when you want to really build wealth and do the things correctly, like you just do it correctly. Take your time. And this person has to do this, has to do this, has to do this." And nowadays, everyone wants to be rich, but still not have to follow the cash
Hmm.
rules, as they say. It's like I want to do what it takes. I want to be successful, but I don't want to do what it
Exactly.
takes anymore. I just want it to happen.
Exactly.
So a lot of this shit comes with
And
being
that's a big
disciplined.
flaw.
Yeah.
Big, big flaw in American society.
Yeah, that's
You
what I mean.
know,
I be opted out a lot of the shit, bro. I be like on some like especially like I've been doing a lot of stuff where I just been studying like aliens and like the galaxies, and I'm like, yo, Earth is really just when we compare it to the entire galaxy, Earth is not really nothing super special. I mean, we are, but like I'm talking about size and what else is out there. That's to say, who the fuck invented all these rules in the first place? Like, there's so much more to the world besides this little ball that we live on. But somehow we get so caught up in it, we can't think bigger. And I be thinking about people who really never left their block, or never left their neighborhood, or
mm-hmm.
never even outsourced it, or never went to another country. Not saying I'm well traveled, but I can have the ability to think and understand. A lot of people are only thinking on what they were told and where they're from and their environments that they were in. They can't
True.
think past that. So I'll be thinking about how the fuck can I get to outer space, or you know what I'm saying, what are they doing out there? And I'm like having surface level conversations. It kind of like it's like brain rot almost, you know?
That's exactly what it is, man. And like the reason why it's like that in this country, I say it every time I'm up here, is because our education system is very poor,
Very.
and you're shamed away from having an imagination, and they try to indoctrinate us into this factory worker mindset. Like the bell system is a factory thing.
Mm.
The bell, like, you go to class on a certain schedule. They ring bells when it's time to get out of class and go to your next class. That shit doesn't help anybody. Nothing about our education system is good. I'm sorry. This
No,
shit sucks.
you're
It's not
100% right,
producing
bro.
anything. And they do shame you away from having an imagination, except in classes like art, and you only take that once every other day.
See, because you're in there like
So it's
for
like it's
real.
very sad.
You're in there for real, and like
This shit's sad, bro.
I'll be like, yo, they made
I
this
don't,
to make a new generation of workers. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like there's so many
exactly.
talented people out there, but and even like the people who are super talented, like the software engineers, all those people, like that type of information isn't really taught in like public schools and in low income neighborhoods. Like, but those are really high earning skills, bro, and really life changing use cases. I mean, some of these biggest
Yeah, it
companies can't
is.
be built without software engineers, and yet this is not a priority learning subject. You know what I'm saying? Apple wouldn't be
We're
Apple without their
behind.
software engineers. Like all these engineer, like why the fuck is this not a priority in every school? But hey, you know what I'm saying? Because
And
then,
that kind of goes into what Elon and Vivek were saying over the week. They chose to get on the internet on Christmas and talk about how Americans are stupid.
so what happened? Because I saw something about that because he was saying, to my understanding, that don't be upset when immigrants come here and take your jobs if our education system is not performing how it's supposed to be. And I could try to find a clip, but you can go ahead. I'll try to find this clip while you say that.
So he was saying, so Vivek basically said that Americans lack in the skills needed to have these jobs that you're talking about, these tech jobs and these higher paying jobs. We lack in having the skills. So why not go get someone from out of the country who has the skills and pay them at a lesser rate,
Mm.
essentially?
Oh, so let me find this clip because he said I want to see where he said it. So he said, what keyword
He
can I
called it
type in?
mediocrity.
Because I want to see where he said it because I saw it and I was like, I didn't even pay. Okay, so I see he posted something. Let's see if this is it. I'm gonna play
That's
this.
it.
This is it right here. Okay, so
Yep.
this says the reason top tech companies often hire foreign born and first generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. Quote in parenthesis and parenthesis out. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely younger. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. So this is what sparked all that outrage. Am I my understanding? Was there anything else that he said?
Yep. That that's what he said, and Elon also said something similar.
Okay, so let's see if I can find what Elon said because I do have some thoughts about that because I work in tech. I work in tech sales. So I do speak to a lot of these technical people that he's talking about. And honestly, bro, when I see how many of these people are from like India, all these different places, I'll be like, holy fucking shit. But like India, they're a leading country in like IT and on all this type of stuff. Like they got it on lock. Like this is why we need them. But it really, and then when I see the level of software engineers and people like that who are not even
Mm-hmm.
African American, it blows my mind, bro. It blows my mind. Let me see what he said. Vivek. I want to see if I can find Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy what they both said. Because what did Elon Musk say? This is not it here, is it? No. Uh, what did
I
Elon
think that was
say
it.
exactly? Well, you think that was it? Hold on, let's see here.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the longer version of what Vivek said. The reason
Yes.
Talk Tech Company off the hiring. Okay, so let's see. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over math Olympiad champ or the jock or valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Now that's a key gem because we do have this thing, bro, where it's like, yo, the prom queen and the prom king and who has the most expensive prom outfit actually holds weight, but it holds no weight in real life, bro. Like who spends the most money on the prom dress and who's the
Just
fucking
fucked up the
uh
whole shit.
the high school athlete or who is team captain, that shit means nothing.
Calling my phone mid fucking pod.
Oh man, it's all good, bro. Okay, so you said the culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympia champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World and Zack and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. Okay, hold on. And then it says, fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much kids could watch TV, um, those to those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly successful STEM graduates. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more extracurricular, less hanging out at the mall. More most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view those kinds of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. Why are people upset that he said this, bro? I see nothing wrong with this.
I agree with the last paragraph and maybe the second to last paragraph, and I agree with the second paragraph. I don't know about the TV stuff, but I get the TV stuff, but I don't know.
Well, I
I
could
know a
tell you.
bunch of kids. I know a bunch of people that watch TV as kids that also went on to do wildly successful things. But I guess we wasn't watching those shows. It was more so like a different world and shit like that. Like trying to watch old shows like that, but then again, we watch SpongeBob and Family Guy and shit too. So
Yeah, because I could say one or two things about TV. Like, because even my son is 2, and they're so stressful about the screen time thing. But I see what screen time does do to children. Like when they start to mimic what they see, or they start to believe that what's on the
true,
TV is truly real, and they can't
true.
deteriorate what's on TV versus what real life is actually about when you turn it off. And now for me, now music was a very much of the influential thing that deteriorated my thought process on what I want to do in life. Not so much movies. I was never really involved, but I can see. We talk about Tyler Perry. If someone grew up watching Tyler Perry romance movies and having a depiction on what their love life should be like, I can see that as a problem. So if there are people who are running around watching these shows and they think this is what the future should be, so the girl is so hyper focused on meeting the Chad or the high school quarterback, for example, Bring It On, All or Nothing, all those stupid chick flip kind of movies, and
Yeah.
there's nobody there to correct it, then I can see that becoming a harsh truth for a lot of people, bro. Now, do I think it's like overly dramatic where people, but even Steve Urkel, he mentioned Steve Urkel. Nerds have always been getting scrutinized in school since forever. You know what I'm saying? And I do think
Yep.
that is a problem because I was saying that the other day. I was like, why do nerds end up ruling the world? Because they focus on all the right things that they told us are nerdy, like engineering. What else? All the other jobs they say is nerdy, but they're not really nerdy. They pay a lot of fucking money and have real use case in this world, bro. But we're so hyper focused on becoming
So
fucking athletes.
so would you blame TV if TV is just depicting American life, or
Say-
do you blame the culture that America sets up?
what do you mean?
We do award. We do. Everybody goes and watch the football game. Everybody don't go and watch the math competition.
That's true,
The football game get put on the front page of the newspaper. The math competition doesn't.
right?
That has nothing to do with television. That's America.
And so yeah, so what
You
was your
see,
question then? What were you saying? Because I think I know what you're saying now, but I want to make
so
sure.
would it be he blamed television. He attacked TV.
Mm.
Would we be attacking TV, or is that just TV showing you what America is like?
I think it's I don't
Or
know
would it
because
be 50-50?
because because to me I thought he was just blaming America and the things that we find entertaining or the things that we value. But
Okay,
I,
then I agree with him.
yeah, if he's not blaming TV specifically and then blaming like the things that we decide to put on there and create narratives of what we is supposed to be glorified, then from that perspective, I can see him blaming just American culture as a whole on what we decide to put in because they know what TV does. They know how important television and film and all this stuff is because that's what we spend majority of our
Yeah.
time doing, getting entertained. So why? But hey,
I mean, the CIA kind of controls TV,
exactly.
so
Because even when I work at a company there in Croatia, there in Europe. They really think Americans are stupid, bro. But that's because what they see about Americans on TV through our TV shows. So even they think that this is what America is really like all this stupid BS. So it's like imagine growing up in that and just thinking, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't know, but this is really good, and I just think that I don't know if there will ever be a shift where we start glorifying because even Jeff Bezos, bro, he was a nerdy guy and now he had to get his body right, start hanging around supermodels, only for us to say he's a boss CEO, bro. But he's been a
yep.
fucking genius. But now he had to even do the thing that we a TV version of a CEO would look like to make us really think that he's a badass.
And that's just American insecurity, man.
Mm-hmm.
People be so concerned with what the next person thinks in this country,
And
or they be so concerned with what the next person is doing. More people should focus on themselves, and they would get farther in life.
and we gotta go
Let
back
us
to the
sit up here and talk.
we got to go back to the purpose of this whole thing about valuing why they're going to hire immigrants over our people because we value mediocrity and over there they don't, but they come here and take our jobs. Now,
That
this
used to be a joke. That used to be a joke when we was growing up. Do you remember they would say the Chinese kid had to go home and practice math,
yep,
had to go home and read a book. The Indian kid had to go home and practice and read books, and that was jokes on TV and stuff when we was kids. Like
yeah.
they used to depict them kids like they did not have lives outside of education.
And now look at them.
And you grow up. You
Now
grow
look at them.
up.
That's
And
what
yeah,
I'm
we have successful native natural born Americans. I'm not gonna call us Native Americans, but natural born Americans. We got successful ones, but those people are wildly successful.
I mean even down to the corner store. You know what I'm saying? The Chinese spot like when you go in New York City, you look at Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? We've been here for a long time and we don't have any of that. And I'm just speaking about black Americans. So it's just
We
like
had it. We had it. We had it. We had it
we
for a
did.
little bit.
We had our Black Wall Street. We have stuff in Philly, but they destroyed it, and I always forget that. They did take our shit down. A lot of the stuff that we did have.
They also introduced something into our neighborhoods that they didn't really introduce into other neighborhoods in the '80s, and it destroyed any chance we had. A majority of our population lost everything they had.
That's true.
They was getting pushed into housing and on the welfare, and our households were destroyed. So our leadership was destroyed. So our property ownership then became destroyed.
That's true. But I think this thing with Vivek, I don't think he's wrong, bro. I mean, honestly,
Me neither.
we went to high school. We've seen like who was valued and who was undervalued. Like we lived it, and I'm pretty sure every other person has lived
Hmm.
it. That's why I don't see how people can be so upset about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think the Department
I
of
agree.
Education is terrible, bro, because what the fuck did we learn? I remember going to a guidance counselor, bro, and not being able to get help because there were only athletes in there that she was favoring. I was like, yo, what the fuck is
Yep.
this? So if I'm not an athlete, I can't even talk to the guidance counselor and feel accepted because all the athletes are in there hanging out with you all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, hey, bro, even the teachers are a product of the same system that we went through. You know what I mean? 1 second.
Yeah. America is a weird place.
It's truly weird, but I will move on to the next thing because I'm not I don't think they're gonna be able to change the way um you know kids are taught in school ever. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think so. I think that we are too hyper focused on a look contest. Who looks better doing the same thing, and no one's ever gonna actually focus on what the priority should be. I think this might have been Elon's response here. It said,
I agree.
the immigration hot button topic is the biggest DKE situation I've ever seen. I don't know if this is this. It says this guy named Gregor Capital says America is now well established, yet still competing in a global market. We do not want millions of unvetted, low-skilled immigrants who will take advantage of our welfare. We want highly skilled immigrants who will assimilate and contribute to our society. I get it. I get it. We need more talented people, bro. Because one thing about America is they are pretty fucking lazy.
We don't even need more people. We don't need nobody that's not here already. Americans need to stop.
So they need to stop.
We need to stop. It's time.
Stop doing what?
The country itself, like, that's why I'm not. Stop being so fucking lazy. Stop
Yes.
being so okay with the mediocre. Stop being patient with your situation and thinking that it can't get better.
Mm.
Stop living in filth and squandering our communities because I don't own this house, so I just let it be how it is.
Right. We need more respect for
That's not
ourselves.
just a black person thing. That's not just a white person thing. That's not just a Hispanic thing. That's an American thing.
Yes.
All these
Absolutely.
neighborhoods got the same thing going on. We need to get back to a place where the community is a community and people care about education and people care about doing better in life.
And
There's no reason 8 generations of one family all lived in the hood or
I
in
agree.
poverty, I should say.
Yeah, that's complacency at its finest, bro. That's complacency at its finest. But you know what I will say, right? Because we're on the topic of immigrants, and we can go on a rant about this all day about how America is lazy and people are highly skilled who are not from here, and they take advantage. Because I mean, shit,
And we got the potential. We have the potential.
mm-hmm.
People have to care about other people. It's people in situations that's tough. And it's hard to get out of those situations. But if other Americans cared about other people, if the community was a community, you feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we can mold our community into something that's worth something.
100%.
If
So
that happens across the country, then the whole country will be worth something.
now let me ask you about this, right? Um, I want to talk about the guy who burned the lady on the subway, right? Because
That was nuts.
we're talking about immigrants, okay? And
Huh?
I'm gonna play the clip really quick for those who haven't seen it. It's pretty graphic.
Oh, I never seen it.
You never seen this, Jamal?
Listen,
Oh my
I
goodness.
seen I
Let's
seen
watch
all
this.
the discourse. And, whoa. What? It's just people watching this though. They just standing
You
there.
see it, her arm is still moving.
Oh, she's walking. Oh, why is son so close to her? You're supposed to throw the blanket on her. Why are they not trying to stop it? I get it. She dead already, but
Okay, now you see the man that's fanning her off right now, right? That is the man that set her
yeah.
on fire.
Yeah, I heard the dude said he set her on fire because he liked fire and he just was like, let me see what happens. And her
Okay,
clothes look pretty dry.
let me see if I can find. This is the same. So you see this gray hoodie, right?
Holy
So this guy right here, this
shit.
gray hoodie, he set her on fire and had the nerve to fan her off. If you look at the gray hoodie, if you look at the video and you see the gray hoodie, it's the same guy. He's fanning her off, and he's the one who set her on fire.
Whoa.
Now, the reason I brought this thing up, right, is because let's see here. What is this? Is New York City turning into Gotham? All right, because
I said that like 3 weeks ago on the pod.
you did.
It's Gotham City now.
Now, the reason I say that, bro, is because with all the mental health issues going on, I ride the subway, bro. I see it. I be
I was
looking
just
left
on the
and right
train.
on my shoulder, like, yo, you got to be careful. One person over here is taking a piss. I was on the train the other day, and someone literally just started smoking crack right on the train, bro. Right on the train. Now, because we were talking about immigrants, and I'm like, yo, bro, what more? Because New York City is supposed to be one of the best cities ever, the most expensive, and the way they paint the narrative of New York City. But when you're actually here, and I'm in a relatively good neighborhood, and I'm still like, yo, let me look left, and not from
Yeah.
like no violence because of mental health issues, people on the streets, and people like this in the subways. There's been a few major incidents in New York City with the shooting with the white boy who choked the guy out to death and another guy who shot a homeless person. And then we have this guy setting people on fire. Now, mind you, my family live in Coney Island. That is the last stop to get to Coney Island. Anybody could have been on the train that day going to Coney Island because the last stop is Stillwell. And I'm like,
And they
yo,
said it was like what, 6 in the morning when he did this?
I don't know what time it was, but
Yeah, I
usually,
think it was like the early morning rush.
oh wow. And then usually at that, and this is him getting arrested, I believe. Hold on. This is him getting arrested right on the train. Let me show you this.
Called him a pirate.
This is him getting arrested right here.
The situation is not funny, but calling dude a pirate is crazy. Yeah, fuck
So
him up.
let me explain to you what this means, right? If he lit her on fire on 34th Street, I mean on Coney Island, last stop Stillwell, and he made it all the way back to Manhattan on 34th Street, which is an hour train ride damn near, bro. That means that man set a whole lady on fire,
Yeah.
banned her off, sat
And
there
got
and watched
low.
her,
He could have been anywhere.
and made it all the way back to 34th Street before they finally caught up to him.
And if he would have had a car, an hour, you're out of the city.
Pretty much.
From
You could have
Coney
been damn
Island,
near, you could have been to Jersey City.
like
Could have
you could have been gone.
could have been under the top. And my thing is this, because people were like, yo, this is why New York City police officers, they're trying to blame New York City police officers for this. Now, mind you, I don't know what I would have did in this situation. But New York City police officers
I
have
blame
this,
the
blame
Biden
who?
administration.
The fire
The
administration? Why do
Biden
you,
administration.
the Biden administration for
No,
letting
the
all these people in?
Biden.
Because they said that they tried to
Yes.
create a narrative that this guy got deported, came back in again under the Biden administration, and then did this.
Yeah.
Now, let me
That's
show
one
you
thing I'll
this.
say about Eric Adams. He was right about that.
Now, what I'll say is this, right? Because if you look at the police officers, their jackets, right? Now, this is a pretty heavy jacket. They could have threw it on the girl to kind of like put the fire out a little bit, but people just kept pacing back and forth, watching her just burn to death. Now, I don't know what could have happened or what they could have did to prevent this, but New York City is becoming a scary place, bro. New
Oh
York City is
yeah.
becoming a scary place. And they won't clean up the streets. Now, when I talked to my mom, she said this is exactly what it was like in the 80s. It's just like history repeating itself. Because, bro, it's getting bad out here, man. It's getting bad out here, bro. When you go to 34th Street,
It's a lot of addicts.
yes, when you go to 34th Street, because I was working over there at a company, bro, literally you'd be stepping over people just sleep in the middle of the street at 8 o'clock in the morning. Just stepping over them, bro. They're all just high all over the place in prime location of Manhattan, bro. And you're stepping over homeless people at 7 in the morning. And I said, what is going on in New York City, bro? And now I see, and then the whole thing with Luigi and him doing it, like New York City has a bad rep right now. And I could see why some of the super rich, wealthy people who watch the news a lot might want to leave. Because they lost a lot of people during COVID.
They and during COVID they released a lot of the insane asylums around New York. So
That's what
when
I
I
mean.
say
I'm like,
Gotham City, I mean it's turning into Gotham City
because they were
when they
upset.
when they opened up Arkham.
They were upset with, Mayor Adams because they felt that he thought that he was making New York City safer by putting a lot of police in the subway. Because just recently there was National Guard deployed in the New York City subways, and I'm seeing all of this, bro. Because I ride the train a lot. It's just way easier, right? I see all of this, but what that did was it made me worried. Like, yo, what is about to happen? Why are all these police everywhere? It didn't make me feel safe because when you're inside the train car, what can anybody really do until you get to the next stop?
A pit stop real quick.
Yeah.
It's on topic, but it's not. So I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't do any research on this. Heard a theory about Eric Adams and why he's being attacked in the courts like this with his cases or whatever. And they're saying it's the Biden administration coming at him because he's beefing with Biden about Biden dropping off so many migrants in New York City
Mm-hmm.
and making the city unsafe, which makes Eric Adams look terrible. So
Yes.
now Eric Adams is clicked up with Trump, and Trump is gonna pardon him, and they're gonna get the migrants out of the city.
Okay. Did you see the
Is
video
it?
of him talking about he wants to talk with Trump's borders are?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so let me, because your theory is not far off. Let me show it to you so it makes sense. Okay. Hold on. Mayor Adams, Trump borders are. Let me show you the clip of Mayor Adams saying that he wants to speak with Trump's borders are. Hold on. Let me see. Cancel. Okay, when he was going through that whole thing, he was saying cancel me. Hold on. Let me play this for you. I don't know if you ever saw this.
Have been a harm to our country. Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that?
Open to
hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with ICE.
Let me. You know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Google what they said about those.
Now, I'm gonna play that because that's very important, right? You know why that's important? Because they created a narrative that Barack Obama never deported anybody. When Barack Obama deported a lot of people, he still holds the record of most people deported. And they were trying to act like Obama never deported, or Democrats never deported. Hold on, Obama, deportation. Because this narrative, Obama just did everything a lot smoother than everybody else. Here's the video right here. Let me see if I can play it for you.
You plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. What I'm describing is accountability, a common sense middle ground approach.
So Obama was very deportation heavy too. He deported a lot of people, but for some reason, it's never been brought up. And we could even find Hillary Clinton saying the same thing. Deportation. Hillary Clinton was a massive deporter too. She believed in it.
Conditions.
I bet she
Tell
did.
people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
So everybody has been deportation heavy, but for some reason, narrative outweighs the truth. All right. So I'm like,
She said you gotta learn how to speak English.
but
What's
now it's
wrong
like
with that
open
lady?
borders. You're gonna deport the whole family. Everybody both was like, yo, no matter what, you
America
commit a crime,
sucks.
get up out of here. So this country is
No other place would be okay with their country being invaded.
right. Nobody.
They just sending they people here. That's not okay.
But I
I don't
played
give a fuck what you call it.
I played all those clips because you was asking about Mayor Adams and his the theory. I said no, the theory is very true. He wanted to speak to the border czar because now he's on some. But they're like, yo, you let all these people in, Mayor Adams, but he's blaming it on the Biden administration. Said he had no choice. They were pretty much he didn't have nothing to do. And now he's like, I want to figure out how to get them out of here. But it's like it's too late, bro. Don't try to switch up now. So that is true. He did say that, and then later in that video he said, cancel me. I don't care. But yeah, bro. I mean, it's getting ugly out here in New York City, man. And I think a lot of other states probably have it just as bad. But like when you can start to see it, I'm like, holy shit, it's pretty bad out here, man. But you know, to deport all these people is going to cost millions. It'll cost roughly, estimate like $20 billion to do this.
Well, fuck it. We just gave Ukraine how many billions in the last year?
That's what I said. Fuck it, right?
We gave Israel how many billions in the last year?
That's what I said. Fuck it.
Why not spend some billions on America?
Especially,
like, it's this wild concept, right? Because this pissed me off. right? So it's this wild concept that the government has when they say they can't do something. If it benefits America, it's, oh, we can't do it. It'll cost $20 billion. But then they'll say, all right, we're going to give this country that's massacring people by the thousands, men, women, and children, babies, all of it. We'll give them 10 billion here, 100 billion here, 50 billion here. Fuck it. Why not? They're killing a bunch of fuckers.
Mm,
What the fuck is wrong with this place?
I don't know, man.
They
That's
spend money on the dumbest shit when our country is not good.
it just shows that they don't
Am I
give a fuck.
bugging?
No, you're not bugging. It shows that
I
they don't
think
give
it's
a fuck.
common sense. It's like common sense. If we got a huge homeless population, let's find some place to put these people that's actually homes. Let's try to reindoctrinate them into society. If they have a mental illness, let's try to help them.
Right.
And let's not just give up the first try. All right, some guy went and talked to him. Then, all right, nobody's ever talking to him again because he got upset. No, figure out a way to talk to the nigga so we could get him back reacclimated to society.
But they'll let
Y'all got the
migrants
nigga just laying down there fucking with people.
come in with mental health issues and give them solutions. But they won't do it to their
Man,
own
America's
people.
fucked up.
Fucked up, bro. But it's all
America's
good.
fucked
And
up place.
but you know what else is even more interesting, right? Are you familiar with the Robert Brooke guy?
No.
Oh man. Okay. Now I gotta show you. Let me show. Let
Wait,
me
wait,
break
wait.
the guy
Is
who's
that the guy who got beat to death?
yes.
Okay, I just seen something on Facebook about that today because a guy from Syracuse got arrested because he did some type of standoff with the police behind this situation.
Yeah, because he was arrested upstate somewhere
Oh,
at Marcy Jail. Let me show you. Let me show you Robert Brooke. Okay, so this is what was happening. It's gonna be very graphic. Okay, it's gonna be a
yeah,
little
because I didn't
graphic.
get to see the video yet. Oh my god! Whoa, 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 whoa! They got whoa!
Now, mind you,
Oh!
he's in handcuffs. All
He
right,
punched him in his dick twice.
let's keep watching. He's in handcuffs. Look at his face already.
He knocked
Look
out.
look at how
Why
they
they
look at how they grabbed him by his neck.
whooping his ass like this?
Look at him. They're hitting him with shoes,
Why is he hitting him with the shoe?
treating him like he's a
This some KKK shit.
they're treating him like he's a state property. You know what I mean? Meaningless. But mind you,
Look at how they holding all on him and shit, yo.
look at this. Got his foot on him.
Whoa.
You would have thought the man was resisting arrest.
Why
And
are they hitting him in his dick so many times?
this is humiliation.
They keep punching him in his dick, yo. What the fuck are they doing?
Look at him. You see they got him against the window, lifting him up by his neck. Look at all these people watching. He's laughing. What's so funny? This man's laughing at him. Now he's naked. They took his clothes off. This is humiliation. This is humiliation. Look at this. Look at how they treating him. Ragging him around by his neck. Look at him. Throwing him against the... Now, mind you, he dies the next morning. Okay? Now, let me
He looked dead right there.
they said he
What
tried
else
to...
did they do to him?
No, they were just whooping his ass for all day. All right? And I'm trying to
What-
see... Because he dies
For
the next
what,
morning.
though?
Huh? So-
What did they say he did?
He didn't do nothing, okay? He already was getting transferred or something of that nature,
Yeah.
and he's already been on a 17-year sentence for assault, all right? He's already in jail. It's not like he's already been in jail. Now, mind you, the only reason this came out is because his family is suing the jail. This been happened. And the only reason it's coming out is because the attorney general put the footage out and is exploring the idea of getting all 14 of those officers arrested and kicked off I mean, they're not even officers, they're
Absolutely.
correctional officers. Now, my thing is this, bro.
They need to be in jail. And this isn't the only jail that this happens, huh?
And that's what people are saying. They're like, yo, this happens every single day. But now y'all want to
They just
finally
don't
start
kill
showing
people.
people. Right? Y'all want to finally start showing people how people are getting treated like state property in jail. And the only reason this is come out is because the attorney general put the footage out. Because she wants to get them kicked off. All 14 of them. Now people are like, yo, there's 14 guys that they all watched this just happen. All 14 of these people just watched this man get beat to death, bro. Get beat to death. Literally to death. And so nobody has been arrested. Nobody has done nothing. And I guess the only reason they put it out is because now they're under investigation. But Jamon, what is there really to investigate? This is clear as day. The man is in handcuffs. He's
Yeah,
already
what are
been
we
in jail.
investigating? He handcuffed. They whooped his ass mad bad multiple times. They stripped him naked. They put him up against the window and did some weird shit to him. Like they did everything they can. They hit him in his groin. Like,
Okay, so this is what happened.
What
This-
the fuck is that?
This is what happened. So he was okay. He passed away December 10th. Now, mind you, this is in Utica. This is on the 10th. He already passed away. This has been weeks ago. He was already sentenced to 12 years in prison for first-degree assault. Okay? The incident followed a transfer where Brooks had been moved from Mohawk Correction Facility to Marcy Correction Facility on December 9th. So he was just being transferred to another facility. He's been in jail for a long time already, since 2017.
Damn, so he was only there a day?
Only there a day, bro. Imagine what's
So he-
happening in this jail. And these are COs. These aren't even real police officers. And they
I
took
bet the audio wasn't activated.
They
If
took out
could
the
fucking
audio.
Hear what they were saying in there.
and you could see those people laughing and everything.
It'll come out when they do the
Now,
yeah
so
when they do the chart when they do the court hearing. It'll come out.
so this is my thing, bro. It's like I was very surprised to see that people are not scared that this is a racial issue now. Because usually they're trying to say, oh, perfect time to put this out. They're trying to create a racial divide, blah 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 blah. But bro, this is clear.
Not
as
creating
day.
nothing.
This is clear as day.
It's not
This is
creating.
wrong.
It's not creating nothing.
It's not creating
It's
nothing.
not creating nothing.
They're like, oh well,
It's there.
he deserved it. I said, nah, nobody deserved that, bro.
Deserve what?
He's already doing his time.
Deserve.
This is racial injustice, bro. That is slaughter. That is manslaughter, bro. They killed that man. They killed that innocent man. Well, he wasn't innocent for what he did, but in the situation, he's done nothing. He's
How
in
do you have
handcuffs.
not? How do you not have compassion for someone that's body is limp and they're still assaulting him? They picked him up by his neck. A grown ass man. They picked the man up by his neck and he just fell like this.
And that's how he
Fell
ended up
limp.
dying. The
How you not
autopsy
have
said it was
compassion
something
for
to
that?
do with his neck. Something to do with his neck, and that's how he ended up dying. Now, my
Oh,
whole
he was
thing-
there regardless. I'm not gonna lie. They beat that man. They beat that man all over his body.
Now I feel like everybody there that watched it happen and did nothing
Should be in jail.
you should be held just as accountable because there is a charge. You're like a witness to a murder or whatever the charge is. Accomplice. Everybody in here is responsible for that because no one said stop. But if this is a regular civilian activity, you're an accomplice.
Dre, if me and you and the group of our friends go and let's say 4 of us beat the shit out of a guy until he dies, it's 12 of us and they all watch. All 12 of us go to jail, correct?
Yes, that's true.
Bystander law.
So all these correctional officers need to be held at the same level of accountability. Now, I don't think this is about no racial divide. The only reason this footage came out is because his family is suing and the AG put it out. That's it. We wouldn't have even known about this, bro. We wouldn't even known about this happening if they never put this footage out. And imagine how much this is
True.
happening every single day to people, bro. That's why I believe prison is the new goddamn slave, is a new form of slavery. Because this right here, bro, what they did to this man
Hell yeah.
is literally getting treated like a goddamn slave. You just getting whooped,
They treated that man less than a human, man. They just
Oh.
beating him.
just beating him, laughing at him, whipping him around. And I always said the warden look at him, they're slapping him with a slipper, they're hitting him with a shoe in his belly. Now imagine, why is no one else's body cam on? Why were they not worried about this footage getting out if they all had body cams? That's my question. This is no different than a modern day slave activity, bro. This is Willie lynching in the flesh. They literally are abusing this man for slapping him with a shoe, bro. That's humiliation.
Has his family spoke out yet?
No, his family put out a lawsuit. Let me see if I can see what his family said. Robert Brooks. Let me see if I can see what his family said. Being correctional officer. Let me see. Just going to put this here. But these are the names of the officers who got suspended. Hold on, let me find this. Let me show you this first. So officers have been either suspended without pay or have resigned. Corrections Officer Matthew Gallagher, Correctional Officer Nicholas Anzalone, Correctional Officer David Kingsley, Sergeant Michael Mashaw, Sergeant Glenn Trombley, Correctional Officer Nicholas Kiefer, Correctional Officer Robert Kelser, Correctional Officer Michael Fisher, Correctional Officer Christopher Worth, Correctional Officer Michael Elon, Correctional Officer Shay Scoff, Correctional Officer David Walters, Nurse Kylie Danshaw, and Correctional Officer Farina. So even a nurse was involved in this bullshit. I'm trying to see if his family said anything, but I can't see any statement from his family. Yeah, I mean, like this is crazy, bro. And I'm pretty sure his family is upset. It's already probably hard enough dealing with a family member who's incarcerated, but to see this happen to them, it's insane. This is racial injustice, bro. This is racial injustice. And for all the people who are gonna be like, yo, they put this video out because he's black and trying to cause no, this just, no matter black or white, this should expose the
Why did this
fallacies.
happen?
Huh?
Yeah, like they saying, oh, they trying to put it out to spark something. Why did it happen in the first place?
Because the justice system is not so good after all. Not so good after all. But yeah, bro, I think that's a crazy situation. I can't wait to see how this case unfolds. It's still actively going on. We shall see what continues to happen. But yo, that shit is nuts, bro. That shit is nuts. I haven't seen nothing like that and I haven't seen nothing like that in a long time. Like, I mean, the whole thing with the Charlotte, North Carolina guy who they found lynched in a tree, all these stories disappeared. But this one, they better not let it disappear. They better not. This is crazy, bro. All those guys deserve to get equally what they deserve, truth be told. And when they go to jail, they're going to have a good old time. They're going to have a good old time. But I think that I kind of want to get into, I was going to talk a little bit about the plane crashes, but I feel like there's not much story around.
Wow.
I feel like there's not much story around these plane crashes, though. What are you thinking?
Well, I believe all of them are Boeing 737s.
Yeah.
So they need to figure out what the hell is wrong with their plane.
Because there was a Boeing whistleblower, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, for context,
Yep.
There's been 3 plane crashes. One in South Korea, one in a place called Azerbaijan plane, wherever that is. Azerbaijan. So that one had 190 people on it, but half survived. And they're trying to say it's because of GPS jamming. But that one also had holes in it. Now let me pull up this plane. Because that one had what it looked like appeared to be.
The one in South Korea, they said was the most deadly plane crash in years.
Since 1997, I believe. So look, this is a picture of what they found on the plane after the one out. These holes in it, right? If you look at these holes, what the hell are these holes? So some people are speculating that the plane was shot down. Some are saying it was.
I'm about to say.
Some are
that
saying
shit look like bullet holes, but I know it crashed as well, so they could be holes from anything.
It could be holes from rocks, debris, but these holes are pretty at random. So that's interesting, but they don't really look like. I mean, I don't know what that is. It's very interesting, but we see the plane in the air, and so what they're saying, right? So they're experienced pilots who said what the plane tried to do here is the plane was flying up, and they tried to nosedive and then go back up to get more speed so they can glide and land safely. But the pilot didn't have enough experience to do it correctly, and all he did was crash land. So if you see the plane, they're going down, 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 super fast nosedive, and then last minute he tries to lift up. He's lifting up, and what they're trying to do is nosedive and go back up so they can glide and even out. But then when he nosedives again, they hit the ground. So this time, because they're trying to slow the plane down, so now he's turning. Bro, the plane's going so fast, what can you really do about it? So now he's flying, he's gliding. They're going down again. Down, now they're going down, they're turning. He's turning, trying to prepare for a good landing. But it doesn't turn out so good, and they just crash. And the plane just literally blows up. Now, let's go to
And they got, what is this?
What'd you say?
They got. It's always so odd to me how they just always have the footage of these planes crashing.
Yeah, it was like some bystander just literally watching. I mean, and so when you look at, and then we go to South Korea, right?
That should be crazy.
We go to South Korea. And then I'm gonna talk about the Boeing whistleblower because there was someone. Because now this is South Korea's plane crash. So they're gliding. Now this guy did a better job, but the landing gear didn't deploy. Look at this,
Wow.
and it just blows up. Boom. Now, how in the world? Now I think the South Korea one, 179 people died. That's a lot more people compared to the first one. The first one, nearly half died, but a lot of people survived. And this one, 179 people just died. Now, I want to know if this was a Boeing plane. Yes, it was a 737.
Yeah, 730. It's the same plane in every single crash. 737-800.
Now, this is the one in Canada. Now, Canada, they had just an engine failure. Look at this. Now, this is scary, bro, because planes, the narrative is that planes are safer than being in a vehicle. Now, let me pull up Boeing whistleblower. Because, you know, there was that whole thing coming out where Boeing planes were just not safe, but no one cared. Let me see if I can find the guy. Okay, so yeah, this guy right here. Let's listen to what he has to say.
So the FAA's gone in and they've done due diligence and inspections to assure that the door plugs of the 737 are installed properly and the fasteners are torqued properly. But my concern is what's the rest of the airplane? What's the rest of the condition of the airplane? And the reason my concern for that is back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. So what we're seeing with the door plug blowout is what I've seen with the rest of the airplane as far as jobs not being completed properly, inspection steps
familiar with the
removed,
Robert Brooke?
Issues being ignored. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787 because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added. So those two programs have really
Boeing
put a
737.
strong effort into removing quality from the process. When I first started working at Charleston, I was in charge with pushing back defects to our suppliers. And what that meant was I'd take a group of inspectors and actually go to the supplier and inspect their product before they sent it in. Well, I'd taken a team of 4 inspectors to Spirit Aerosystems to inspect the 41 section before they sent it to Charleston. And we found 300 defects. Some of them were significant that needed engineering intervention. When I returned to Charleston, my senior manager told me we had found too many defects and he was going to take the next trip. So the next trip he went on, he took 2 of my inspectors. And when they got back, they were given accolades for only finding 50 defects. So I pulled that inspector aside and I said, did Spirit really clean up their act that quick? That don't sound right. And she was.
You know what that says, bro? That they found 300 defects and they just said, 2 hours and they walk away fixing nothing?
What was that guy's name? John Barnett?
His name is, let's see here. His name was
John
John Barnett.
John Barnett. He passed away in March.
I think this is him right here. It says, Justin's second whistleblower connected to Boeing has suddenly died at age 45, catching a sudden illness. And, a second whistleblower. So he died as well? So there's 2 people who passed away. Joshua Dean, known for being in good health. Oh, man. Wait, so this guy, what did he say? Let's see. Hold on, let me see. Oh, this is the same guy, John Barnett, again. So he's been whistleblowing for a long time.
Every time I'd raise my hand and say, hey, we got a problem here, they would attack the messenger.
So John Barnett died. Then we also have this guy by the name of, I want to see what he said. I mean, because honestly, bro, this is a big deal that planes are not being properly taken care of. Let me see what this guy has to say about it, because I like this guy.
Not alive. You know how Boeing's planes have been falling apart in midair for the last year, like doors coming off, tires falling off mid-flight? Well, it turns out that this guy, John Barnett, who spent almost a decade as the quality manager for a plant making the 787 Dreamliner, one of the problem childs of Boeing, well, he retired in 2017, and he's been taking legal action against them ever since. He's been alleging things like when a plane isn't getting built fast enough, they'll tell their dudes just to go and get scrap from the scrap bin, like broken parts and parts that didn't pass inspection, just slap them on there so the plane gets done in time. He also claimed that up to 1/4 of the oxygen masks would fail if actually deployed, plus a number of other allegations that Boeing obviously denied. And then he wound up not alive in his truck in a car park on the 9th of March from a, quote, self-inflicted wound. But the spooky part is what he did
You know what?
right before
Because
that
this is
happened.
like what you were saying when we were talking about. I think we were talking about I forgot which celebrity you're talking about. I'm not gonna get in there because the powers that be, we're not gonna disrupt what they got going on. I forgot who we were talking about, and you opted out that combo quick. And I think that remember we were talking about there's big money involved in a lot of stuff that's bigger than
Yep.
the people, and it's like someone doesn't want to fuck up that bag. You know what I'm saying? So whether he unalived himself or whatever happened, there's big money. There's big money. I want to say
Billions.
billions, and there's money that's bigger than we think, and it's crazy that their stock is still in the green. So maybe it's not that urgent.
Still.
Yeah, stock is still in the green. I mean, it's not like it wasn't no major drop off. Doesn't look like there's been any major drop off. A little bit of down, but this is I can't really read this chart. I'm not familiar with this Microsoft Bing chart, but yeah, man. I mean, it dropped from 180. It only dropped $1. It looks like 181 to 180. Nothing too crazy. But when I think about this stuff, right, it's like, why are they still comfortable sending people on these planes? Somebody has to make money.
That's my question.
But I don't think they can just redo a whole new plane, and because you know how airports work, right? So airports have landing
Why don't they
fees.
just fix them?
I don't know, bro. I guess clearly it might take too long. I mean, I look at it like, so in software, like the same reason why the airport, they can't update their computer system because there's so many flights every day to shut down all of air traffic and re-put a whole new system in. Who knows how long the airlines would have to be down to do that?
We had a whole 2 years.
What, when airplanes were just not flying at all?
We had at least 6-7 months during COVID.
See, they probably weren't expecting that when nobody was flying. But it would take a long time to put a whole new system, fix all the planes. There's big money in airports. You got your landing fees, you got your gate fees. Bro, there's so much money in flying and then the systems are so old and outdated. Air traffic control, bro, they can't really afford to put a new system in and imagine it mid-air collision because they're dealing with new software. You got to train people on it. So like some stuff you can't fix. Huh? What?
You know what's next?
What?
The Tesla plane.
I think so. I highly, honestly see that coming. I see that coming. I think there's no stopping Elon with what he wants to do.
That man owns this country. He's the oligarch.
Nah, literally, he literally is one of the greatest minds. But I mean, with Boeing, man, I think that what they're doing is crazy. But I think we'll see what's next for Boeing. I mean, it makes you not want to fly. But it's also like, how many plane crashes? I mean, clearly the one in South Korea has been the only one since the 1997 or something like that, or the 1970s, whatever. One of those was the 7. But it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
a lot of people died in that one.
A lot of people, but it's been a long time. Luckily the one in Canada was just like an engine failure, and they seem to have made it back. But last thing I think I want to touch on, bro, because it's a culture thing, right? People wanted me to speak about it, but I didn't want to for some reason. It was this whole thing with Fat Joe saying nigga and saying foundational Black Americans are broke. And Lord Jamar, now we know Lord Jamar in real life. Like Lord Jamar, he's a crazy person, he's a goofy, blah, 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 blah. Now, for those who don't know what the foundational Black Americans are, it was a group started by a man named Tariq Nasheed, who the foundational Black Americans are this idea that we are not really from Africa and don't have much association with that. And people who are foundational Black Americans are people who should get reparations because they were born in America and they should not be tied to being African American because they've never even been to Africa. And we are foundational Black Americans, meaning that we were born in America and we are Black. So we're foundational, the original Black Americans. And there shouldn't be no reason to call us African. Yeah, go ahead.
You can call us foundational Black Americans or whatever, but you can't say we don't have no connection to Africa because everybody comes from Africa. That puts the first flaw on whatever he's saying right there. What the fuck are you talking about?
Now, they have beef with people in Africa because they're like, we don't got nothing to do with y'all. And they're trying to say, like, yo, these Africans are not Black Americans. Like, we ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Like, we don't come from Africa. There's no proof that we came from Africa because some of our family could have came from the South. Our lineage could have started there. So that's
These
what
the
the whole
same
big argument
people.
is.
These the same people that cry racism.
But
You
that's the
can't
big
say you
thing.
can't be upset about racism and then divide your community like that. Like
So
that's stupid.
I would play the Fat Joe clip,
They
but
think racism is just an American thing.
I would play the Fat Joe clip, but I don't want to get copyright because of Math Hoffa's thing. But now the issue with Fat Joe is that I'll break it down because Fat Joe's Puerto Rican, but he's been in hip hop for the longest amount of time. Okay, and when he said, "Oh, foundational Black Americans are some broke niggas," people felt like, well, how can a Puerto Rican diss a group of people who are truly fighting for Black rights, reparations? How can you do that, right? As a Puerto Rican. Now,
They're
then
not fighting for Black reparations and Black rights.
what do you think they're fighting for? Think it's a grift movement?
It could be. I'm not gonna say Tariq Nasheed is a grifter, but it just sounds like bullshit. You separating Black people from a vast majority of the world when you do that, and you trying to fight against racism and oppression. But that's not just an American thing. That happens to Black people all over the world. The reason why Black people can't do anything about it is because we're so segmented and segregated, and we put ourselves in these boxes and say we're not connected to y'all. The same way that you got the Dominicans saying that they're not like the Haitians. Y'all are the same. They just darker
And
in
that's what I
some
was
cases. So it's like that shit is bullshit, and you just dividing a community. We're never gonna get anywhere if we stay divided. The same thing they saying in LA. Oh, we got to bring the Bloods and Crips together. We got to bring these gangs together. It's the same thing with the diaspora. We got to bring the Blacks from each country together and have an organized body behind it, or it's never gonna be none.
and this is what I was trying to
And you can
say.
play the clip if we talk on it. They can't copyright you for that.
Play what? What you mean?
You could play this clip if we talk over it. You just can't play the video.
Oh, like
But you could play the sound and we
if I
could kind of just
wait, if I leave the audio playing in the back and not show the actual video?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Here, let me see. Let me see if this is the right one.
Radical Black racist. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a Black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity.
So that's what he said. So he calls foundational Black Americans radical Black racist. I mean,
Radical Blacks.
they could be radical Blacks, but
And they do sound a little bit racist.
But I say when we think about what the real definition of racist is, Black people can never be racist because we don't have enough infrastructure to be racist. We could be prejudiced, but we can't really be racist at all because we don't really have enough infrastructure or own enough infrastructure to ever really be racist. Because we can't stop anybody from doing anything. We can't, like, racism is like, yo, you can't come to this school, or like we don't really have enough infrastructure, you know. So when they say Black people are racist, I'm like, how? You know, but my thing is this. Everyone's like, yo, why he keeps saying nigga, 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 nigga? And like you were saying that they do with the Haitians. Bro, the only difference between us and all people of any color is language, culture, and the island that we were from, right? When you really think about it, bro, the color code system was invented by white supremacists to make us believe that we are different than them. Really, there's no difference between anybody of
Exactly.
color except our language. So now, like you were saying about the Foundation of Black Americans, who are causing even further divide, we're already divided by gang. We're divided by street. Now we're divided by Puerto Rican versus black, Dominican versus black. And now it's like we're going to gatekeep the word nigga that was given to us by people who used it in a derogatory way. Now we're trying to gatekeep something that was ruined to hurt, that was invented to hurt us? That makes no
Bullshit,
sense to
brother.
me.
That man, Fat Joe, been saying you're not gonna tell Fat Joe he can't say nigga.
And it's
Get the
like,
fuck out of
why
here.
now? Why do y'all want to start it now? He's been saying
Lean
this.
back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Well, who's doing this? You just pull up my pants and
Do
he
the Rockaway.
wasn't nothing bad back then.
They've been doing this, and now you want to
My
change
niggas
the
don't
narrative
dance.
now?
They just pull up their pants and. Didn't he say nigga all throughout that song?
All throughout it. There wasn't nobody complaining back then. We was all doing a lean back, from my understanding. So my thing is, people understand these narratives, bro, but for some reason they still want to act like they're confused. And me personally, bro, that's how I said, well, y'all arguing over this guy saying nigga. I could understand them being upset about calling Foundation of Black Americans radical and broke and dissing Lord Jamar, because this is what Lord Jamar said back. Because he said
the fourth word in that song is nigga.
Thank you. Because I'm like, yo, bro, the only part is crazy is like calling the Foundation of Black Americans back, because black people don't really have any more groups left.
All of this shit about, yo, y'all niggas is broken. Like,
Yeah,
that's
calling
the
them
new
broke is corny.
racism. Okay? Like, classism and talking about niggas is broke. Like, the last I checked, Puerto Ricans in the Bronx is broke too. So what are we talking about here? Like, what's all of this taking on the oppressor's disdain for people that don't have money? Regular, everyday, working class people. And then you want to talk about racism, like people's being racist or discriminatory against you, yet you the first one to talk about these broke niggas. And a bunch of people do that. And to me, it just reeks of insecurity. It just reeks of, because if you didn't have money, if you didn't have these things, would you really have, all the people around you supporting you? Would you really have loyalty like that?
My thing is, like, he didn't say nothing too crazy, and that's how I know the situation wasn't
It's
that big of a deal.
simple.
It wasn't that big of a deal what he said, because all he broke down was him calling them broke and then talking about how Brand Nubian, Lord Jamar was the worst rapper in Brand Nubian. Like, there wasn't nothing that big of a deal, but black culture, we don't have nothing to hold on to, so everything is a big deal.
I feel like bro took that, him saying broke niggas, and made it seem like he was talking about all black Americans, like y'all is broke niggas, when no, he's talking about that group of niggas in particular.
Right.
He's saying them niggas is some broke niggas that be trying to latch onto bullshit to have arguments about.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about this whole thing. I'm like, yo.
That's all he said.
I was like, don't try to drag all of black culture, because y'all now want to start addressing people. Oh, because we got to remember, the original argument was about who invented hip-hop. And Puerto Ricans didn't have nothing to do with the origination of hip-hop. And that's where this whole thing has been. Almost a year later, they're still arguing about this. And now people have their personal
neither
feelings.
the Jewish people.
And they have their own.
So what are we talking about? Niggas is fighting with each other. Go get y'all.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I left myself out of this, because we keep furthering the divide. And while they're over there still owning all the shit.
It's a nigga named Lucian that ain't have nothing to do with what's going on in Sedgwick, but he somehow control it at this point in the nature. I don't never remember nobody saying that. What's the nigga from Interscope that fuck with Dr. Dre? The white dude,
Jimmy
from Beats. Jimmy Iovine. He wasn't in Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't create hip hop. Everybody use hip hop. We gotta stop trying to talk about who created something. Black people want to have creation of some shit that they don't own. You're not about to sue nobody. You're not taking nobody to court to say I created an art form. I need to be paid from it. That's not how this works.
Motherfuckers want to do a whole lot of yelling and screaming. And
everybody know hip hop is a black thing. It don't matter if you Puerto Rican. It don't matter if you African. It don't matter if you Jamaican. It don't matter if you Black American. You a black person. Hip hop is a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you come from where we come from, it's about the neighborhoods that we come from when you talk about hip hop, and there's nothing else.
So I think this whole thing was a little bit meaningless. I think it was over dramatic.
Niggas be
People
bullshit,
want to always
bro.
pick and choose when they want to defend culture, but truthfully, we let the floodgates way too open.
Nah, these niggas be on bullshit. They don't never want to talk about the real shit. They want to talk about the bullshit.
Surface
This
level.
is bullshit.
This is
It's
BS.
bullshit.
This is
Very surface level bullshit.
very surface level. There's so
To
much more.
confuse them, you're using this to confuse the population on what's going on. Go educate somebody, dog. You
Yeah.
talking about Fat Joe saying nigga, and this is not just to Lord Jamar because, like you said, we don't have interactions with dude. I ain't just coming at him. I'm coming at everybody in general. Y'all be so concerned with the surface level bullshit instead of what actually helps our people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Niggas are arguing about Fat Joe and Tariq Nasheed. Are we fucking serious?
Yeah.
How is this gonna help anybody down the line?
Yep.
Them two niggas should stop fighting. They should come together and understand. Tariq Nasheed got to stop this. If you're not FBA, then you're not black. He has to stop that
And there's
because
this
it's a nigga darker than him. It's niggas darker than him all around the world that get treated like black people. He has to stop.
yes, and
You
there's
want
a
to focus on what's going on in our country? I'm not mad at you, dude, but don't discount us from having connections to our brothers and sisters all around the world. Because they can help us.
and there's an African country right now who just paid off their debt, and they're an independent country again. But we talking about who's saying nigga in America, and we not associated. There's so
Mali
much
did.
more
That's
shit.
Mali.
No, this is wait, Mali will pay 200. No,
Ma-
there's a who's that African leader who's been trying to assassinate it, who's been assassinated attempts 18 times. African leader 18 assassination 18 assassination attempt. I got it in my phone. Cuz there's an African leader, what's his name? Traore. Traore. African leader Traore. I forget how to spell his name. Hold on, Traore. His name, Ibrahim Traore. Yep. So this African leader, and they just paid off debt. Hold on. Pays off countries' debt. I'm gonna have to go to Google Chrome. Yeah. So Francois President Ibrahim Traore has cleared the country's 4.7
Burkina
billion.
Faso.
Yeah. They without Western financial assistance, like this to me, when you got African countries paying off their debt. Yeah, well, hold on. A virus circulating social media. The video shows president. So this is what the speculations are, but it looks like there's a fact check here. But still, there's more because this is exactly why they took Haiti and tried to turn Haiti to a poor country because they got their independence from a country, and us as America came over there and had to and starved them out after we went to war, and that's why Haiti is what Haiti is now. But Haiti was the first people to get their independence. We worried about this, but imagine if this Black Americans actually got our independence, but yet we want to talk about who's saying nigga. Surface level bullshit. Let's get our shit together.
Some shit that we don't own, a word that we did not create, that we don't own, that we thought we could take ownership of, and we
Exactly.
don't get a dime off of it. It just pisses off more when we hear people say it that we feel like shouldn't say it. The shit is bullshit.
It's all BS, bro.
Like
But
I had a conversation with a white dude, right?
mm,
And I like to have conversations sometimes with people that aren't like me when it comes to the way that I think because it helps me understand the world. So I was on the game having a conversation with a white dude. He was in a party. I couldn't kick him from the party because I wasn't the party leader. So instead of just me leaving, I talked to the dude and I asked him why do he feel so comfortable saying the N word? And his question back was, why does it piss you off so much?
mm,
And then I said, because of the history behind it. It doesn't really piss me off per se. It's just the history behind the word is very derogatory, especially when someone that's white says it. And he said, yeah, but it's just a word. And we had a civilized conversation about it. And he said he don't really say the N word like that, but he does say it sometimes. And I said, well, you shouldn't. You should probably pick and choose when you say it if you do say it, but you shouldn't say it at all because of the inclinations behind the word. And he came to
mm.
an understanding with me, but the conversation itself, he made a good point when it's just a word.
Wow.
Don't kill. We don't need to go crazy over a word. We got much bigger fish to fry.
Yep. It's just an
I'm gonna
abstract
be honest.
sound with
Now,
definition.
I'm not saying let no nigga say no white person or no person that's being racist or disrespectful say the N word to you or in front of you. You can check them, but we do also have bigger fish to fry.
Way bigger
and
fish
we
to
should
fry.
get to them. We should get to them before we go on a nigger crusade of who's saying the N word.
Yeah, we have a lot bigger fish to fry. I mean, that's like you being in a
Or we can
relationship.
move, or we can move like that one community that don't allow shit to be done to them that's disrespectful or out of bounds. We can also move like that, but we will never because we arguing about who's black and who's not. So
Exactly. So that's a good point. I'm gonna end that right there. That is another episode of ThinkAMill. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We've been
peace.
stepping away from the celebrity gospel line and getting more into the high level shit. That's why I really wanted us to be more of the high level shit. Cause I think we're bigger than this talking about stupid celebrity drama and who's dating who and you know what I'm saying? I think this has been
Mm-hmm.
going good, you know? But yeah, that's another episode, man. End of December. I hope your New Year's is lit. We will see y'all next Monday. All of y'all that are saying you're gonna do what you're gonna do, I hope you actually get it done. For real, it's 2025, man.
Yeah.
Time waits for no man. Shit, this year went by quick as shit, honestly. I looked up
Hell
like, oh,
yeah.
it's about to be New Year. I just moved back over here last February. It's about to be February again. I said, where the time go? Shit.
Hell yeah, shit's crazy.
Yeah. But that's that. I'm gonna see y'all
Happy
next
New
week.
Year, people.
Peace.
Peace.